Happy Tuesday, Sipsters. Welcome back to the Sippin' on Stories podcast with me, Mandy, your host. I'm so delighted that you're here. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving week and had a great meal and ate all of your favorite foods. I definitely did. Another thing that I did over Thanksgiving break was this interview. So my sister-in-law is on the podcast today, Jocelyn. My sweet husband has been giving her a hard time, just, like teasing her, telling her she's not a very big fan if she has not come on the podcast yet. And I said to her, as I've told everybody, I will not force anybody to come on the podcast. And all jokes aside, she did agree to come on the podcast with me and record an episode. She is talking about her time working with the Children's Miracle Network and kind of how she got into that and what it was like. So here is Jocelyn for today's episode. Okay, I'm going to start.
Are you ready?
Yep.
I almost feel like it's maybe even worse to do it in person because I won't stop laughing.
Okay. Okay, for the podcast, we have Jocelyn, who's my wonderful sister-in-law. She's supporting me in coming on the podcast. So, Jocelyn, what is your favorite drink?
Oh, I forgot about this part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love so much all soda. Everything. Any of them. I will drink any of them. My favorite is probably, we have this soda shop by where we lived. It's called a Dark Night, and it's Dr. Pepper, blackberry puree, and coconut cream.
Okay.
Which I know they have that at other
Yeah.
ones. That's just what it's called where I am. But
They had
so good.
that. Did you ever try that Dr. Pepper blackberry one that came out?
Oh, yes, but it doesn't taste like that.
Okay, because I was like, I actually didn't love it.
I didn't love that either.
Until I started adding in the coconut cream. And then I was like, actually, I liked the combination.
Okay.
It took a second. I forced myself to start to really like that.
Yeah, I've been there. But that's the thing is when it came out, I'm like, oh, I love this one at this soda shop that we have. And so we got some and I was like, oh, gross. This isn't even the same thing. I think because it was different than what I had thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But the puree makes it so good and I love it. And I would drink it all the time.
Do you feel like you're drinking jam? Because I've said that in one of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm drinking
when you
the
said
jelly.
that, I was like,
drinking the jam.
oh, okay, yes, sometimes I'm like, oh, that was a little too much of the puree, but if I mix it really good, it's my favorite. Good. Yeah, but I love a Coke. I love everything. I love a coconut strawberry 7-Up.
The one you told me about today,
the lime Ricky
squirt
with
the lime and the grape. Yeah. That sounded good.
I would prefer just to talk about soda the rest of my
Okay,
podcast.
Let's just go down the list. But you don't drink it as often anymore, do you?
No, the caffeine gives me headaches.
Yeah.
And I love it so much and I wish it didn't, but it does. So I try and cut back and drink very unflavored, gross.
Life is dull.
I mean, I'm not even I can't stoop to the level of water, but because that's just, heaven forbid me to drink that. But But LaCroix, they'll suffice on occasion. So, but if I could drink Dr. Pepper every day and not get headaches, I would do it.
Yeah. I just recently bought caffeine-free Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
To try it. And Brett's like, why? Even though he hates my soda love.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, maybe it will help with my anxiety. Do you have it? Is it worse? He's like trying to make me like, well, why are you trying? I'm like, what? I'm just trying to make better choices and maybe going caffeine free. Just gonna give it a try.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
I got the caffeine free Diet Coke thinking the same thing. I was like, that's okay. I can have this every day for my lunch and it'll be good. Oh my gosh, it's not the same. I know they say it is not flavored, but I don't know. It's different.
I tried the Dr. Pepper because my sister-in-law started having that when she got pregnant. And I thought it was okay. So I'm just going to attempt it. And I can still pour in my coconut cream.
Exactly. The creamer makes everything better. I go through it by the gallons. It's terrible.
Yeah. I'm like, Bert doesn't need to know that I'm throwing this in the garbage and buying a new one immediately, so he doesn't know how much I've gone through.
That's funny. We buy the double from Costco.
Oh,
It must be
is it
over
vanilla
a gallon.
or is it coconut? at
It's
Costco?
vanilla, which I prefer the coconut,
Well, but the
but
vanilla's good too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll drink them all.
Yeah, but Billy is supportive of that, and he's supportive of the coconut or the creams
The creams, yes.
in it. So
Which
that
makes
goes
it
a
even
long way,
worse
yeah.
because then he condones it, so
Yeah.
I just keep going with more.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Well, Jocelyn is going to talk to us about, like, how do we? Her
don't
adventures
know.
working with the Children's Hospital
Okay.
and what she's learned. What's it called?
Children's Miracle
With
Network.
Children. I was going to say Miracle Children's, but Children's Miracle Network. And so yeah, you just start from the beginning.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure what all to share. Britt had actually first suggested that, or requested, I guess, that I talk
Forced.
a little bit. Forced. I'm here by force. If only everyone could see me being forced right now. No, but he had requested it, and I thought to myself, I've told you so many times, I've listened to all these podcasts. I've loved them. I've loved hearing everyone's stories. But for myself, I have felt like I haven't had anything in my life that I have felt like was
Worthy of a podcast.
Yes,
episode, yeah.
exactly. I'm like that, that would interest people. So when Britt first had requested this, I was a little taken back, but then I thought, you know what, maybe there is somebody who has had this kind of a question. So I don't know, hopefully it can be informative. I guess from the beginning, I'll start with my experience with Mercedes. When she was born, Mercedes is my oldest daughter. She, that kind of is a guide into where I'm going with this. So, so she was born, oh my goodness, 20 years ago. But it seems like not that long.
5.
It's gone so fast, but normal pregnancy, great labor and delivery, everything went as planned. We had a little bit of scare with her ultrasounds, her original ultrasounds that they do at 24 weeks.
Looking at her heart. on the
Not
ultrasound,
looking
or
at
what
her
was on it?
heart. They were looking at different measurements in her skull area, her neck area. They thought she might have some birth defects that way, but not anything serious. And as we went on through the pregnancy, those concerns kind of resolved. So at that point, we had quite a few ultrasounds, 3D ultrasounds, more than normal, but they had all started coming out clear within the margins and stuff. And so they felt like she was going to be very healthy. So when we had her, we were pleasantly surprised because she was very healthy when she was born, that we thought. And we took her home. She was great. And then a week and a half in, she was a week and a half old, and she started not eating. She started, her diapers were always dry. There were some really concerning things that started happening that as a new mom, I had no idea.
Oh, of course not.
I mean, I look back and I'm like, I wish I wish I would have had the information that I had for my subsequent children at that time, because I would have known immediately that there was something
is
wrong
not
with her.
normal.
Yeah, but we started taking her into the
And you were
pediatrician.
young too. Like
I
that,
was young.
yeah.
I was young. I was, 23, 22, 23. So I had no experience with babies, really. Being the oldest, I didn't have any really nieces and nephews that I'd been close to. So I just didn't have a lot of information. But I started going, gosh, she's not eating. Like, that's not good. And so took her into the pediatrician. He's like, oh, she might have an allergy or something. Let's try formula. Let's try these anti-allergy formulas, all these things. But she still was not eating. And she was, by the time we started realizing something was wrong, the decline started just amping up. And she was failing super fast at that point. It only took us about 3 days where she had gone from us being a little concerned to us realizing like she couldn't make it in this state very much longer. There were a few things that she had where we knew not only was it concerning, but we're starting to see her go lethargic. We're starting to see her skin discolor. And we kept taking her in, and no one seemed overly concerned.
Just so
Doctors,
odd to me.
it is. And I think they chalked it up to I was a paranoid first time mom.
Because I'm sure they get plenty of that.
Well,
too.
and it happens, you worry. I still worry with my kids about when they're sick, how serious is it? When do you take them in? And so, anyway, we ended up demanding her to be admitted to the hospital. And when they did that, she was in severe dehydration, which we knew, but they ran an x-ray on her chest and to see if maybe she had aspirated, if she maybe had pneumonia or something. But when they did that, her heart was filling up 75% of her whole chest cavity, and she was in the final stages of heart failure, and they knew something was more serious than what they had thought. I don't remember a lot about that period of time, but that was the first panic attack I had ever had. I didn't realize that that's what it was, but I mean, we had not slept in days.
Yeah.
We had been trying to force feed her with a dropper to see if she would take anything, and she was rejecting that. So when they came back and they decided to run an EKG, which is just kind of a brief overview of what's happening in the heart, they found out that her heart was shutting down. She was in shock. And so they didn't know if they could bring her out of that. She was life flighted to Primary Children's Hospital, which is here in Salt Lake. And
Shout out all my life flight nurses in my life.
Yes. Life flight is very important. They life flighted her, and within the next 24 hours, she was having open heart surgery.
How old was she then?
She was 12 days.
Okay. Yeah.
So that opened my eyes, that experience, and our experience at Primary Children's was incredible. And I mean, they saved her life. We were fully aware that the all hands on deck approach that we had received from them had saved her life. The life flight, the nurses there, her doctor, who was a fellow, she was brand new, but she was incredible. And they ran tests on her all night so that they could have her into surgery that next day. And it was a miracle that she was able to make it through the surgery because of the condition her heart was in at the time. It was just so strained that, cutting off blood flow could be super damaging. Again, it was a time that I remember like it was yesterday, but also I know there's a lot of it that at the time I didn't realize the magnitude of really what was happening. We were just kind of going through the motions, doing what we were being told to do. It hasn't been until later in my life where I've seen more, been exposed to more, where I've realized like the significance of what they accomplished.
What was it that they did in this heart surgery?
So what they did is they clamped off, so her heart defect, we found out that she had 2 heart defects. One is that she has an abnormal aortic valve. The other one is that her aorta artery, which goes from the heart and feeds your limbs, basically, it was kinked and backed up like a hose, and so there was no blood flow. She had a blood pressure of 9 in her legs. So there was just no, and that attributed to her discoloration and things like that. She was just getting no blood flow. So what they were able to do successfully was clamp off the aorta artery, go clip out the section that was deformed, and then reattach it together. And they say it's similar to taking a thin spaghetti noodle, cutting it and sewing it together. It was, I mean, they were able to do it quickly, successfully. We met with the surgeon right before and right after, and then you never really see him again. Which actually, and part of this story too, is that 3 years later, when I was pregnant with my second, we were able to go, because we had to do tests during my pregnancy on him to see if he had the same thing that she had. They knew it was genetic, but we didn't know how it was all going to work out with our children that came after. So they do extensive testing. And when we were there, we got to see the surgeon that had saved her life. Yeah. And that was one of the most incredibly soul-filling situations I've ever had in my life.
Did you just come, like a wave of emotion?
Oh, yeah.
Come across you? Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It was, I didn't say anything. I couldn't.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-mm.
Were you crying?
Him. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
hysterical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw him in the hall, and we walked past him, and I said to Billy, I'm like, I think that was Mercedes' surgeon. I think that was the doctor. And I remembered his name. And Billy's like, how in the world, this is 3 years later, like, how would you remember that? Anyway, I went back and I saw him, and I was overcome, like, and Billy just was able to speak for me because I was completely uncontrollable. I've never been like that in my life. Mm-hmm. But it was so incredible, and I'm so grateful that we were able to see him. But we found out, not at that time, but later, that Grant did have a defect, my son. So 2 of our 3 kids have heart defects. What that did is that, this is supposed to be the backstory. I didn't mean to talk about this for so long, but these experience and these years gave us a lot of exposure at Primary Children's Hospital. We interacted with a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses, had a lot of testing. You spend a lot of time there. During the first 2 years of Mercedes' life, we were down there a lot. Mm-hmm. So later on, after I had Grant, about the time that, if I back up, after Mercedes' successful surgery, I had a burning desire to say thanks to all the people that made the difference for her. And every time I would sit down to try and write a card or think, like, do I send a gift to the surgeon, or like, how do you express your thanks for your child's life?
A card doesn't seem
enough.
Exactly. A gift card to the coffee shop or the drink shop. It's
exactly. Like, I know. I'm like I'd sit down to try and do it. I'd be filled with emotion. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get the words out. Obviously, when I saw him, I couldn't even get the words out. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to express this gratitude that I had for saving Mercedes' life, for giving us the care that we need for both of our children to get them into adulthood. Mercedes has since had stents, and we've had numerous things where we've needed help. And how do you thank these people?
Yeah.
You can't. And so I had this burning desire, though, that I could not fill. And so I had Grant, and we moved, and somehow there was a lady that was in my neighborhood, and she somehow found out that we had a lot of experience there. And she approached me and she said, I know that you are experienced in this. Do you want to have the most amazing experience in your life and work for Primary Children's? And I'm sitting there going, well, how in the world would you offer me a job at Primary Children's? And I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm not going down there to work. I don't want to drive 2 hours to work. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, it wouldn't be working. It would be a full-time volunteer. And I'm sitting here going,
I've got all the time in the world.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a new mom, still, got little kids. And we had just moved and didn't have family around to help with childcare. So I'm like, I don't know if this is something I can do. And she said, can you make it down to an interview? And I'm going, what is this? And she's like, I just am wondering if you've ever felt like you want to give back. And when she said that, I froze. I was like, how do you know this about me? Because this is something I hadn't told anybody. I told nobody about this
Desire.
Yeah,
need.
this unfulfilled need that I had. And so I said, I don't know if I can. I have a lot on my plate right now. I don't know if that's something I can commit to. And she said, well, think about it. And I couldn't stop thinking about it after she left. And so I called her up and I said, I want to go and interview. She goes, I'll set it up for you. So I went down one day and walked into this room there were 11 of the most beautiful women I had ever seen, and so professional and everything. And it was at the hospital. I still didn't know what it was. I was like, is this some secret society thing? Like, what is this? And I just said, I don't know why I'm here other than I have a profound feeling that I need to show my gratitude for what our family has been blessed with. So tell me what you need me to do. And I was able to interview with them. And what it was is there was a board of women who were full-time volunteers who were liaisons for the hospital to corporate and community donors. So they would oversee an area in the states that the hospital serviced, and they would go and any business donors, they would oversee these campaigns to make sure the campaigns were run correctly according to the hospital guidelines, make sure that 100% of the money collected went directly to the children at the hospital. They were the most incredible women I had ever come across in my life. And they were working over 40 hours a week. Volunteer. And as soon as I sat down with them, they just welcomed me, and they're like, we want you to do this.
Did they all have like a similar story as like?
No.
Oh, really? Like
no.
A big reason they were there or anything?
No. Everyone at some point had been touched. Everyone in this area, I feel like, knows somebody who has had a child that has been there. So, they had their own stories and reasons. What I learned about them is they wanted to do good. They just felt like this was a very pure, the most sweet work that they could do to help children. And they felt it within every ounce of their being that they were doing God's work to help these kids. And it was true. It was true. She said, are you ready to see the most incredible miracles you've ever seen? And I was overwhelmed, but I wanted to jump at the chance. And I thought, I'll never get this chance again. So I was on this board for 10 years. And
it was 10 years?
I know. Yeah. And they were incredible. And the work that was done was incredible. I feel like I was only a tool to deliver the message, but the message that they were delivering was so powerful. And the campaigns that were being run were so wonderful. So Primary Children's is the Intermountain West's Children's Miracle Network hospital. So everywhere in the country, there's a Children's Miracle Network hospital that is an affiliate that they service. Children's Miracle Network is just a broad national program that makes sure that hospitals have the means to facilitate these fundraisers. So every time you go into a Walmart, a Sam's Club, a Costco, an IHOP, they have so many donors.
Yeah.
They are running Children's Miracle Network fundraisers. I'm
the
sure
little balloons.
The balloons, the little yellow balloons, yeah. And So as a Children's Miracle Network hospital, they partner with you to run these campaigns on a kind of, it's a national campaign, but the money stays local. And that's what I really liked about it. I liked that 100% of the money went to the kids. You know, there was no overhead, there were no proceeds. It was just a straight up donation to the kids. And so it changed my perspective of these campaigns too, learning where the money went. And
versus just like when you're in the store and they're like, would you like to round up?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't even know where that money is actually going.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like people are way more apt to donate when they know that the money's going to the kids versus some administrative cost or the cost of running the campaign. That's the thing, is all these campaigns have to be run with the store, the donor fronting the costs of whatever they're going to do. Yeah, so you can't buy stuff to run the campaign and then take it out of your donations. All the donations go straight to the hospital. They go to the hospital, the foundation oversees it, but the money comes in and it is divided up. Some of it goes to paying for children's medical bills, children who don't have Medicaid, who don't qualify for other government programs, who are low income, or maybe they've had some sort of income crisis, you know, lost a job recently, or lost a job because they have had to be at the hospital with their child. They can't work. So there's things like that. The kids can enter this program and get help paying their medical bills. Some of the things that I really liked, because we actually, as a family, we benefited from these things, is there's programs set up for kids of all ages, all circumstances, all backgrounds. Music therapy is one of their biggest ones. They have noticed a huge success with children's healing time using
that just meaning
music
like
therapy.
They're playing instruments, or what is
okay. Well, yeah,
or what
both.
Is music therapy?
They've done, so they have a music room. They can bring music instruments to the kids if they're too sick to leave their room. They can play different instruments. They can listen to different music, not just songs, but different instruments and how they're played, and learn about them. They also are able to bring in professional musicians. When I was there, we had Imagine Dragons come to do, and they come and play, and the kids would love to go and listen to them. So sometimes those musicians will do it, donate their service, and then sometimes we are able to help it through the music therapy. They have, of course, like pet therapy, which is really, really helpful for kids to have a pet. At the hospital, you have children who have never lived outside the hospital there, and they are able to have these animals that have gone through tons of training, tons of different programs the animals have to be able to qualify to come in, but they're able to bring them in. And that has been a huge help to a lot of kids who are trying to recover.
When you say like your family benefited from a lot, like what ones were you?
So we did the music therapy, we did art therapy, which is really cool too. They do a lot of art programs. A lot of times before procedures, they'll give the child a doll that's blank. It's just a fabric doll. They'll let the child, they'll draw on it what they're going to do.
That's cute.
And so that they have, like, they'll make the same markings on it so that the kid feels like they have a doll that relates to them. Because for kids, sometimes it's hard to understand that their scars, although they make them different, and we can look at them as beautiful, because like I look at my children and I go, I know that scar represents how special you are.
Yeah.
But to them, they can feel awkward and embarrassed about it. So especially when they're really young.
I even think of like, they just came out with the diabetes Barbie.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
like just to have something that is the same as what you're going through, and especially like at the children's hospitals, very specific to them what they're going through.
Yeah,
it's
and
sweet.
it does make a difference because I
It
think
does.
they feel alone sometimes.
And they, that's the word. A doll is so much more real and alive to someone
Right.
that age too.
Yeah, exactly. That it can be their friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one thing. I think the biggest thing and the coolest thing that we benefited from was so when Mercedes was really young, they would have to medicate her to do any like echocardiogram or an MRI. Just as a toddler, they have
too
no
little,
control.
yeah.
They don't have any control. As they start getting older, you start getting in that fine line, should we put them under anesthesia to do an MRI or to do an echocardiogram? It makes your day there so much longer. It's a huge cost increase. While we were there, and during the time that I was able to serve on this board, the board purchased 2 sets of goggles. And these special goggles can go into an MRI machine and they can watch a movie of their choice during the MRI. And so it helped so much. Mercedes got to do that. And it was so nice to not have to put them under anesthesia if you don't have to be able to say, Kate, if you watch your show, she loved princesses. And it was so great that we could say, okay, we're going to put on Cinderella and you can go in the MRI machine and just hold still while you're watching Cinderella. And it cuts out a lot of the noise that an MRI machine makes when you're in there. It's kind of scary. I mean, as an adult, you're wondering what's going on.
Like a lot of child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those goggles were over $1 million a piece, but the amount of good it did for the kids and the families.
How would you decide, like, the board?
Yeah.
How would you decide what you're spending this money on? Did you get it, like, research and choose, or were things given to you and you're like, let's choose from?
As a board, we were able to see where the money went, but there were 3 women who were the head of the foundation, and they were the ones who made the ultimate decision.
Yeah.
I think that's really hard. It was hard for them. I know it was really hard for them to wait, especially the medical bills that are covered, because there's so many people in need. Like, how do you make that choice? You don't have endless amount of money.
Every time you're choosing one, you're not choosing
Exactly.
another. Yeah.
If you decide to buy the MRI goggles, that means that you're not buying something else that maybe could be beneficial. So it's one of those things where it's just like, how many kids can this help? And just try and make the most of the money that we were given. A lot of our funds actually we used to do, seems like forever ago, telethons.
Well,
those are kind of...
It's like when I think of you working there,
Yeah.
I think of the telethon.
The telethon, yeah. Yes. Because we put that on
When was that?
every year. It would always be in June, the first
Okay.
week of June. So they do it different now. They do more like social media
Makes sense. But
pushes.
social media was not.
But yeah, social media was not a thing when
Yeah.
I was doing, at the beginning that I was doing this.
Yeah.
So we did telethons, and they kept doing that up until, I don't know. I think it's different. It's different now. I don't know how much they do it, but they've combined with like radio stations and stuff to be able to raise money and do these social media events.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Fundraisers?
Yeah. Just like a push
Yeah.
at a certain time to try and earn so much money within a certain amount of time. That was one of the greatest gifts that I feel like I was given during this time was being able to watch people in the community be so generous. It is so easy to feel like there's so much bad around, get so discouraged.
Everyone's
by,
selfish. Everyone's...
Yes, and just get so discouraged at the negativity that's going around. And one of the greatest blessings I feel like I was given is being able to watch people be so generous. we would have people that wanted to donate millions of dollars. We would have
legitimately they donate millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, individuals.
Wow.
They'll leave. Sometimes they'll leave their estate to the hospital when they pass away. So we
Yeah.
would get that on occasion. One of the most tender moments I can think of, I was working at an IHOP on National Pancake Day. National Pancake Day is actually the Children's Miracle Network Day
Oh, it
that they
is?
do.
Oh,
Yes.
I think I knew that.
Yeah, it's great because they'll every stack of pancakes they sell is donated to the hospital. They ask for donations. They give the pancakes free and then ask for the donations. It all goes to the hospital. One of the most tender moments was watching a little boy come in with his coin jar, and so you knew it was all he had saved.
Yeah, that's make
He
me
didn't.
cry.
I know. It was like this. I did cry.
Yeah, of
I
course.
did cry. But he walked in and he gave it to me. He's like, "This is for the sick children." Like, he was so sweet, and I don't know. His donation was probably a couple dollars, maybe.
Yeah.
It was pennies and stuff in there, but to him it's all he had, and he was giving it. And like, those moments are just so special
Yeah.
to me, because I realize, like, everybody has a story. Everybody has been touched at some point by a child who has been in need medically, and that even those small donations, you think when you go through Costco line, if I just round up $1, like, does that really make a difference? But it does. It does. And that's why this has been so great, is to see that every penny does matter, and that those pennies add up to buy incredible things, or to provide these children with really incredible things. I do believe that children have a really unique ability to heal. And one of the amazing things I learned while I was there was that the cancer cure rate is 95%. That shocked me. I thought it was I thought it was
for children or
for
in
children,
general?
for children.
Okay.
At the hospital, the children that come in with cancer. And that's not even like remission. That is, they consider them completely cured. And when I saw it at first, the statistic on my information, I thought that it was like a typo. I'm like, there is no way. But I come to find out it is true. And they believe, and they're doing studies on the difference between children getting cancer and adults getting cancer. And the main difference is children look at it as they're going to be sick for a little while, but then they're going to get better. So they have a much better outlook, and it has greatly increased their odds of being cured. And I think that has been a real eye-opener for me too, is being around these children who don't look at it as some terminal diagnosis. They believe they're going to get better, and that they might be sick today, but eventually they're going back to school, they're going to go home. And so I think that mentality of positivity has really touched me and changed how I try to view things. It's harder as you get older and more cynical.
You become more.
Yeah,
I could tell you're getting old when you get grumpy about
exactly.
stupid things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't have that negativity on them, and so they fare so much better in all aspects. In their success in physical therapy, much higher. Their success in the way their body heals, just in general, is much higher. And so I think doing this has shown me a really positive side of humanity and generosity, and what positive thinking can do.
So you, after working with them for 10 years, which I want to ask too, you had full-time kids. Was it hard to do the full-time volunteer? And how many hours were you say you're doing that?
So there's a busy time and a slow time. In the spring, when we're running campaigns, the majority of campaigns were in the spring. We have the corporate donors, like I've mentioned, but there were also local donors that I would find or that had already been found that I would check up on. Doing that, it was full time. I would say it was probably close to 40 hours a week.
And you were just bringing the kids with you along?
I bring them with me. I brought them with me. I brought them with me. Mercedes actually got to the point where she would guest speak with me a lot so that she could talk about her experiences with the different therapies and the different benefits that she had. They loved hearing from patients. I'd take other patients too that would want to come guest speak, and they would talk to the management of these businesses and help them understand why it was important for them to run a successful campaign. So then in the summer, it was busy with the telethon, and then it would kind of die off. But even when it was really busy, I still believe that it was the greatest thing my family could have been a part of, and my kids actually enjoyed going with me.
For them
It was.
too.
It was.
So after your 10 years, what made you finally be like, okay?
That was a hard decision. My kids were getting older. I was going to have kids now, middle school, going into high school. They were involved in a lot of things. And they were also at the hospital. They were going through some changes, restructuring of the foundation. The ladies that I had served with for a long time, I mean, they had done it for way longer than I had. They had been there for 20, 30 years. They were having to retire for family reasons. You know, their husbands were retiring and they needed to retire. It was a huge time commitment for them. And so with a lot of the changes, it just was one of those things where I felt like I had given it my all, and I wanted to keep doing it, but
was like healed where you needed to get back. Like you felt complete with that.
Yes, I finally felt like when I sat down and thought about it, I was like, I have been so grateful for the opportunity, and I felt fulfilled finally of wanting to give back in a way that I felt, even though I still feel like it lacks, like I could do it the rest of my life and I still would be indebted. But I was able to realize that there's a season, and I had given my all in that season for what I needed to do. And I'd like to go back at some point, but it's a lot different now. And, I kind of feel like there's other ways. There's a lot of other ways that you can volunteer and serve, and even in your local hospitals, there's lots of options for volunteering. But it definitely gave me the greatest experience that I've ever, of anything that I've ever accomplished for myself. So
I think it's beautiful. And back then, I'm like, I was so little. like little Mandy was so naive.
Mandy was little.
Yeah, so tiny. But like...
so precious, though.
I know. I'm just like, I'd be like, oh yeah, I knew that you were doing the telethons. Like, clearly I knew you worked with primary children's. But I didn't realize how much of a time commitment, how hard it is just being a parent. Also, not even appreciating like all the stuff you had to go through with Mercedes. Like, I don't know, it's just now being older as a mom, I'm like, one, I would understand the draw to like want to give back, the time commitment to give back. And I just think it's beautiful. Like, it really is.
It's amazing. And what I love is that everyone can participate. Like, I don't think what I did was
like
anything above and beyond what anyone else would do. I don't think it's like that. What it allowed me to do was it allowed me to see how everyone can participate, and that everyone goes through that Walmart line
Yeah.
and is asked, and they all have the option to be a part of it.
I felt like after you started work with them, I was like, I will never be able to say no to them asking about, would you like to donate to the balloon? Like,
I know, it changes you.
I know, like I'm saying no to Mercedes every time I do. I'm sorry. Like saying no. Yeah. I was just,
well, and I think that's what I wanted to share was it's less about like what I kind of shared my road into why and how I got there. But what I wanted to share was hopefully that when people, especially money is really tight, it's hard. It's hard to donate, and there's a million campaigns out there. But one of the things I wanted to share is that donating to Children's Miracle Network, that your money is in good hands, and that it really does help the kids in need. I feel like people can feel more satisfied when they give their donation,
knowing that it's actually being used.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a great message to share. I appreciate you coming on and telling it. She didn't think it was going to be good, but hey, I got tears in my eyes, so
I don't know. I am not cut out for the podcast, Mandy. That's why I listen to you.
It's not true.
I feel like we can talk for hours and hours, but then to put it on a podcast, I'm like,
see, I still feel like I could just keep talking. But, yeah. So if you see the balloon, the Children's Miracle Network, you'll know exactly where it's going. How many hospitals? Do you know how many hospitals there are that are in that?
I don't. So I know that for like primary children's services, Idaho, Montana, Utah, Nevada. So as far, I know that there's a few in like California. So, you know, each state, it varies on who is serving them. It's really easy to find who your local hospital is. Yeah.
I'll have to look it up. I'll do it after the
Oh,
interview.
yeah. Okay.
Just
I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't know how
I'll
many
be able to
there
find
are.
that statistic
There's got to
out
be
there.
a lot, though.
Yeah,
I would
think
imagine.
so. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really cool. And a great experience, learning experience for sure. You and your kids.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I hope that they always can remember some of the things that they've learned.
Well, thank you, Jocelyn.
Yeah. You're welcome.
We can go play a game now.
Okay. Let's go. Skull King it is.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm sure you've all seen the yellow balloons at various locations. I always think of Costco and Walmart as the places that I have seen them before. But like I said, I can't not donate when someone asks me, because I think of Jocelyn, I think of my niece and the people that have benefited from this network. And yeah, I think it's really cool. And I liked hearing a little bit more detail about like how Jocelyn got into it. I mentioned in the episode, I was just like young when she started doing it and didn't really know what it was. She did want me to add, because after we recorded, she was like, oh man, I like forgot to say some other things. And she said that a lot of times like your donations will also go to things such as palliative care and also different therapies. So like grief therapy, and so not just for the person that is like sick at the hospital, but also the family members that are going through this hard trial of having someone there or losing somebody, unfortunately. So there are a lot of things that your donations go towards with the Children's Miracle Network. And I just think that it's really awesome. And I loved just hearing that she was doing that. She is amazing. I'm like, I don't know how you did it. I think of myself with my kids, and sometimes I'm like, gosh, I am just so busy. I don't have time to do anything else. And then I look back at my day, I'm like, what did I do today? I mean, obviously I'm keeping children alive and fed and all the things, but to think of volunteering full time while doing all of this, I just think it's really impressive. Oh, and I did look up how many hospitals were part of the Children's Miracle Network, and there are 170 hospitals that are part of it across the country and in Canada, which I thought was pretty cool. If you have a story for me for the podcast, I would love to hear it. You can go to my Instagram, Sippin' on Stories Podcast. I have a highlight bubble that says submit a story. You can go in there. There's a Google form you can fill out. I could contact you very easily through that. You can DM me. You can email me, sippinonstoriespodcast@gmail.com. And I can also get back to you there. Or just, yeah, I say this. If you know me, just reach out to me. I'd love to have you on the podcast. This has been such a good time, and I love it. I thought I would let you all know. Also, over Thanksgiving, my father-in-law convinced me to put my podcast episodes onto YouTube. So if you prefer to listen over on YouTube, you can find me there. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel. That sounds weird. You can find me just Sippin' on Stories Podcast, same as here, just on YouTube podcasts. YouTube music. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not quite sure how it works yet. I'm going to have to learn, but they're there. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time, Sipsters.